Hi there, good morning everyone, or evening, or afternoon, depending where you're at in the world. This is James running Stators. I'm going to bring you the latest update. It's been a while. I actually put up a video to bring you all up to date on what was going on and why. That got taken down. Prior to that, 23 of my videos have been taken down since 2017. Taken down without any warnings, no reasoning why, nothing. Videos just disappear. And then of course, the video I made an announcement, last announcement, prior to the last video you will find on my channel, that was also removed. That was probably removed in mid-2024, I guess. Somewhere right around there. It's hard to know because if I'm not going back to my channel regularly, I don't necessarily know when it just suddenly disappeared. Okay, so the reason for the update is for a few reasons. One, to let you all know I haven't walked away. I'm still just fine. And people keep telling me to state my videos. No, I would never kill myself. I would never commit suicide. Never. In fact, I am happy as a pig in a mud hole. I have a beautiful, loving woman in my life. We love each other very dearly. We're very passionate about life itself. I mean, we are dearly in love, and we love life. We're doing all kinds of things together. We're living the dream, if you will, when it comes to love and romance and being with that one person that we are really meant to be with. With that said, for those of you who are new, I need to quickly bring you up to speed here. Back in 2010, I was listening to a radio show, and the guy on there was talking about Newton's third law of motion and stating in that for every action, there's equal and opposite reaction. And, well, no one's ever really challenged that. The moment I heard that on the radio, these guys talking, I went, that can't be true, really? Well, the exact moment I questioned it in my mind, I said, well, I know the answer. It can't be that hard to defy that. All I have to do is create an imbalance. Because Newton's law states that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, which means there's balance. But what would happen if we put imbalance in a magnetic system on a wheel? So in one direction, we have a certain amount of force, but on the counter direction, which would be the equal and opposite by Newton's law, if it was lesser and greater on this side and lesser on this side, then what do we have? We have an imbalance. And when you set up an imbalance in the system using my stator, then suddenly Newton's third law of motion is indeed no longer true, or never was true in the first place, until somebody like me came along and proved it otherwise. That was wrong. Well, numerous people now have made these stators, and with great success. And their jaws are dropping. They can't believe how simple this was to make. The secret behind the James Running Stators that explains and shows where to tear one of these apart. And it's truly, the answer is so simple: how to create an imbalance in the system. But more so, I had problems. I had to walk away from this and other issues in life. I couldn't continue down this road for right now. And so I bought a gauze meter, and this gauze meter, because I knew something was wrong, and I didn't know what it was. Why couldn't I get my project back up and running the way I did years ago, which resulted in getting my YouTube channel taken down, not once, twice. Turns out the magnets are not all the same strength. There's as much as a 30% difference in the other magnets that I use as well that you can't see in this shot. I don't know if I bought them that way or if they became that way years later. I do know and understand the principle behind what they call keepers for magnets, is where you put either a big plate of steel behind the magnet, or you put the magnets on a steel stand, some kind of steel, so their magnets are being stuck to something, and they're called keepers. Anyway, I had all my magnets on keepers all these years, so I can only speculate what happened. All right, so first of all, I want to verbally say thank you to James he knows who he is. And James, thank you. He gave a very generous donation that allowed me now to buy a new set of magnets. It makes them affordable for me. I'm on a fixed income, a very fixed low income, and I have to make sure over the years that I do not outlive my money. And after a while, this gets expensive. I mean, last time I bought all the magnets you see in my videos, I spent almost $5,000. And I shopped around to get the best prices I could, and it still ended up being almost $5,000. So all these magnets and the magnets behind me and the ones that you can't see right now, of course, they add up in price pretty quick. So James was kind enough to send me a half $1,000 or $500, but $500 doesn't sound like a lot, does it, in today's society? But when you say it for what it really is, it's a half $1,000. That's a good little chunk of change. So thank you, James. I put a call out to everybody. I said, look, some of you all out there are plush with money. I used to be plush with money. I used to have all the money in the world I needed and had plenty of money until a couple mishaps. And so I just said, hey, any of you all out there who $500 or $1,000 or $2,500 is nothing to you all. Nothing. It's absolutely nothing to you all. It just isn't. I mean, you all go on a weekend trip, over the weekend, spend $2,500, $5,000 on a weekend trip and never think twice about it. So I was just putting a call out to you all, who out there who are still financially have that capability and comfort zone in your life. If you believe in my research, because if I was a scammer, I would have been since outed a long time ago, because I've been on YouTube for a very, very long time now, making lots of these videos. So obviously it's not a scam. And the other thing too is that people now have built these. They've proven that the videos that I have online are not a scam. This really does work the way I say it works. I really, truly have overcome Newton's third law. The interesting thing about Newton's third law, when you overcome that, it opens up the door for a whole new passageway in the generation of energy, especially electrical energy. In the long run, because when I was still able to get on YouTube and look at what was going on, how many references there were to me on my research, it was at 1.1 million references to me in my research. Google doesn't allow me to see that data anymore. But the seed has been planted. It's just a matter of time before my research gets out there to the right people. 50 years, 100 years from now, the world will get its energy from a whole new way. It will revolutionize the way we get our electricity to the point where nuclear will go away, needing to burn coal to generate electricity will go away, the need for oil on a massive scale will go away, hydroelectric will go away, wind and solar will go away for the most part. It'll just change everything, because I have a design and a way to do this where it'll look like a hot water heater, and instead of this being linear, it'll be on a cylindrical level, and it'll be a spiral. So it'll go like this down, and where the spiral begins and ends will be exactly the same spot here. This will be up higher, 3 or 4 feet up higher, and so it'll spiral around like this, and it'll be beautiful, and it'll look like a hot water heater. You just simply drop it by, your fuse box, plug the darn thing into your fuse box, unplug from the main power line because you don't want to have both of them on at the same time. You can put a switch between the two, and then off you go. And if all goes well, this generator I'm talking about, using solely magnets only, should run anywhere from 75 to 150 years, maybe 250 years. But it's not perpetual energy. It just isn't. And because why? Magnets do what? These things wear out. They just do. They wear out. Magnets wear out. And so it's really an unknown how long this will last, how long these magnets will last, being constantly under load day after day, month after month, decade after decade. So these are unknowns. And maybe there's a way in such a way, and I can, just as soon as I said it, I can envision a way where you could flip the switch and have the system re-energize, remagnetize all the magnets. It wouldn't be that hard to do. So that would increase the life to maybe from 150 years to maybe 500 years. In any case, you buy this one device. It looks like a hot water heater. Drop it beside your actual hot water heater or next to your fuse box. Hook it up, and you should be good to go for life. And you will no longer have to pay $100 or $300 a month electric bills. More so, on a grander scale, factories, hotels, whatever. Everything will change, because you can scale this up. If you needed to, you could have 20 of these so-called large hot water heaters in a row. It would run an entire shopping center. Anyway, we're not there yet. So, by the way, my email address, which is the same as my PayPal account, is James Roney, JamesRoney, N as in Nancy, E as in elephant. You spell it just like you would the word money, Money, but it's Roney. So James Roney, USA at gmail.com. So it's no spaces, no dashes, no hyphens. So it's just James Roney. James Roney, USA at gmail.com is how people are donating money into my PayPal account. And that's how James did it. Again, thank you, James. It's a game changer. And I will be ordering these magnets here very soon now. And we'll see where all this goes. I'm very excited. So let's get on with some of this here. A lot of talking. I'm so sorry. But there's not a lot here to show you. At least not yet. But what I do want to show you here is why this does what it does. You can always go to YouTube and look for my video called The Secret Behind the James Roney Stator. You'll see there's no magnetic attraction back here. See that? There's none. So it's just tables on. Just let me let the screw find its space. Okay. See? It's just, it looks like it's a smidge. Oh, I know why, because it's getting the magnetic field from underneath here. But if I do it back here, up here, there's no attraction. Yeah, if I go down way down here to the corner, there's a smidge. But on this face, there's no attraction. And on my upgraded stators, there's zero attraction up here. There's a little tiny bit of attraction here, just a smidge, but not much. But if I flip this over and do the same thing again, then suddenly, I can pick the whole thing up like this. Okay. But if I do it this way, then it doesn't do that anymore. The same way with the back, it doesn't attract. But here's the open face. This is aluminum foil tape, is why you can't see what's going on here. But here's the face, and see. So the whole principle behind here, why this works the way it does. Remember, everything is open source, so I'm spilling the beans how you can do all of this. Because the magnetic attraction to magnetic, in other words, magnet attraction, it's almost absent and void up here, and definitely completely void back here. And we don't get any attraction or repulsion, for that matter, until the face of this. That means on this side, on the approach, on the ramp, when a magnet comes in like this, it's just drawn to the metal casing. Because, we still have attraction here. So the magnet comes over this and slides over the face. And as the magnet slides over the face, then it sees the repulsion mode on this side, and it kicks it out. Now, there's a 1 inch by 2 inch by 1/4 inch magnet right here, dead center, right in the absolute middle here. So let me show you here what's going on here. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put this on here. This is not knowing how this works, but just having a little fun here. We'll move this around here, and I'll get back up here so you can see the whole wheel. And I'm just going to kind of just like let it go, do its own thing. Oh, didn't have quite enough momentum, or I have this backwards. Let me see here. It's been a while since I've been down here doing all of this stuff. Probably what it was. Do it this way in this direction here. Yeah, there we go. I had it in the wrong polarity, if you will. It's going to try to pull it back in. So, and I don't have it, but if I had multiple stators on here and or multiple points of these different places, it would keep the thing going. So, but watch. If it was the opposite equal attraction, it would never made it far enough to separate itself from this. I'm doing that with my hand. It was off camera, so I am touching the wheel. Okay, so, but I can feel the attraction here. There's no repulsion. See, I can feel it. See, it's trying to suck it in. Okay, there you go. And it's just going to kick it out on the other side. You know, didn't have quite enough momentum to keep going. And the other thing too is that if there was another stator, as this gets ready to leave over here, if there was another stator here on the approach pulling it in, as this stator gets sucked in, it would help to push this out. And so this would be pushed out as another stator here would be sucked into these magnets. And while the stator over here is being sucked in, we'll use this as an indication of the stator. As the stator is getting sucked in, if this was the stator, then as it's getting pulled around like the other one did, this one over here is being swung around and being brought up to here. And so just as this stator over here is about ready to leave, this stator here now goes back into attraction mode. And then this just repeats itself over and over and over again. Okay, I'm stopping this manually by hand. Okay, I know some of you all just want to see how this works. This is not how I set my stuff up, but this is just showing you principle here. Let me just, let's just push it around a little bit here and I'll just let it go. And you notice it picks up substantial speed through there. So can you imagine if I had another one of these here and here and here and here? See, it picks up speed. But it won't keep going because there is some counteraction here. Some, but it's not equal. If it was equal, then we would never get a single full turn out of this. It would never kick out like that. It just wouldn't. Because now it's too far from that magnet. There's a little bit of counter pull there. But I think part of this counter pull is actually because this wheel is not properly balanced. I think that's part of the problem when I'm fighting here. Anyway, so that's where we're at in all of this. And I'll flip this around and we'll go in the same direction here, just see what happens here. You know what? I may have had that backward. That worked even better, didn't it? So I don't remember which polarity this is, positive or negative versus positive, negative on this side here. Let's see here. So I can feel this here. Let me do it this way. Okay, this is an attraction mode. So these are opposites. I can feel it sucking it through. And then of course, as this comes around here, we have the natural magnetic attraction to metal because this is, you know, steel. It's actually, it's a composite of different metals, but this is magnetic, so it's attracting it. Eventually what will happen is that I'll change this over to mu metal, and then there'll be zero attraction to it. And then what I will do is I'll use a special shielding technique that'll actually help to repel it a little bit as it comes out. So we won't have any magnet to metal attraction. It'll be zero. So that'll greatly up the game here, up the results. But let me let it go in that way. See, that kicks that out nicely, but it's not going to keep going around. Okay, so, and if I do it the other way, it's in attraction mode. Does a pretty good job in both directions. I'm really surprised. Wow, that really did. I mean, that really kicked that out, didn't it? Yeah, it's not going to do anything. Okay, so that's where we stand for right now. Thank you for your time. This is a long video, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but it couldn't be helped. So anyway, thank you for watching. And when next time I come on an updated video, hopefully it'll be, a real eye-opener. All right, with that said, thank you for your time, guys. And so I like to say, and some other people thankfully have quoted me, that's all, and thank you for those who do. That's all there is fit to print for now.